Today, I have the pleasure of speaking to Anthony Tennyson on day one. It's your first day of trading today, is that correct?
It is indeed, Tracy. It's an absolute pleasure. It's exciting. It's a pleasure, but it's great to be here.
Well, it's my understanding you're a biotech company that is going to develop psychedelics for treatment. Is that correct? For health and mental wellness?
Actually, we're strategically focusing on using psychedelic drugs and therapies to better treat addiction rather than mental health and wellness.
Okay, and let's start with why you would go to the public markets. It's my understanding you have some background in finance. Would you mind introducing yourself to us?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So, I've a bit of background in finance. I worked with Merrill Lynch straight out of uni, so I worked on the capital market side with Merrill Lynch for a couple of years. I also worked with Bank of Ireland, which is the largest bank in Ireland, also on the capital market side. Then for my sins, I did an MBA, and I worked for a company called Aon, which is one of the world's largest professional and financial services companies. I ended up in relatively senior positions at a global level with them in their risk consulting business as well. But I always wanted to do something more entrepreneurial. And I've got, like many people who've come into the psychedelics industry, I have a personal history and story as to why I'm motivated to help solve some of these problems. And that was just a natural fit that led me towards this industry and to co-found and lead Awakn Life Sciences.
So the reason for this interview is I was particularly intrigued with the use the only company in the world, I'm quoting your company, providing evidence-backed ketamine-assisted psychotherapy for alcohol use addiction. Okay, take it away. Help us understand this.
Well, we will be the only company in the world when we open our clinics. So we do development and delivery. So we're developing the therapies, and then we will be delivering those therapies in clinics as we open them up across the UK and the EU. So what we've done is we've acquired the IP from the world's only clinical trial assessing the effectiveness of ketamine-assisted psychotherapy to treat alcohol use disorder. Alcohol use disorder affects 5% of the global population. And those people that are lucky enough to be treated, there's a 70% relapse rate within the first 12 months. The alcohol use disorder industry accounts for 30% of the global addiction treatment industry. So it's a massive problem. It's a problem that isn't being effectively treated. That leads to significant problems for individuals, their families, and their communities. We believe that ketamine-assisted psychotherapy will be proven to be more effective at treating alcohol use disorder than the current treatments available. And that is why we acquired the IP from that clinical trial. And that is why we will be delivering that therapy in our clinics as we open them up across the UK and EU this next year and into the future. But we'll also be looking to license that therapy into the North American market in due course so that people can be helped, so we can help people in the UK, the EU, and the US as well.
Okay, well, a question for you. 5% seems utterly and preposterously low. I think all of us have had someone in our lives or been affected by alcohol addiction, either directly or indirectly. So when you said these clinics that you'll be rolling out with Awakn, we should anticipate these in the upcoming year, or when exactly will we have access to this treatment?
Yeah, so listen, as an Irish guy, I think that 5% number, just upon anecdotal evidence, seems quite low, but that's the WHO, and they are the authorities in this space. But there's 700 million people across the UK, the EU, US, and Canada. So 5% of that's about 35 million, I think, if my maths is okay today. So we're going to be opening up clinics, 3 clinics in the UK this year. Another 5 clinics in the UK next year, before we then move outside the UK into Ireland next year, and then moving into continental Europe in the coming years. Ultimate goal is to have 20 clinics open across the UK and the EU by the end of 2024.
Well, I can tell you, after publishing this interview, my email inbox will be flooded with, is he raising any more money and how can I get in? So talk to us about that. Are you raising any money for this? And what's your plan of action? I noticed, for instance, you listed on the NEO exchange. Are you planning on listing anywhere else? Why did you select the NEO exchange?
Well, yeah, we traded on the NEO exchange today under the ticker AWKN. So if anyone wants to get involved in our story, and if anyone wants to help us, help individuals, families and communities that are suffering from addiction, then they should get onto the NEO exchange and look to start trading our stock. Yeah, absolutely. Look, we've got a long development pathway across, a long strategic pathway across our development activities and our delivery activities. And sure, in due course, we will be going back to the markets to look to raise money, but that'll be at a strategic time of our own choosing. But really, if people want to get involved in our story and help us help those people that need to be helped, it's in our ticker there on the NEO exchange. We chose the Canadian Stock Exchange or the Canadian market because that's just a great place to start a company and start an industry like this.
Anthony, thank you so much for joining us today. We wish you the absolute best of luck, and we would love to have one of these incredibly brilliant members of your team do an interview as well in the future. So I hope you'll allow us to interview, for instance, Professor David Nutt.
I would be more than happy, and in fact, David would be more than happy to come on here, as would Professor Celia Morgan, Dr. Laurie Higbed, Dr. Ben Sessa, and Dr. Sean McNulty. These people are giants in the industry, and they are far more eloquent than I am.
Oh, I'm sure they will they question that. Again, thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us today, and best of luck to the group from Awakn Life Sciences.
Thank you.